Hello, this is Ann Kraft from Michigan Virtual. I want to welcome you to our webinar. And I wanted just to let you know we've got an exciting new program that we are offering in summer um, called Summer Games. So we are going to be introducing you to a grammar support program to give kids something to do in the summer that keeps them learning and helps them with their grammar skills. So I'm going to let Bennett Weinkoop and Johan de Bruin take it from here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ann. I'll go ahead and introduce myself real quick. My name is Bennett Weinkoop. I work as a liaison here at Michigan Virtual and was asked to explore gamified learning solutions. And I was asked by the research department to explore this because of some focus groups that we had regarding summer learning. And what we found from the schools that we spoke to were that most schools already have in place what they're looking for in regards to course recovery and don't have a whole lot of alternative solutions for learning that can actually have students kind of more enjoy their summer. So when we got that information and feedback, I was also able to meet with Johan from Erudis Games, and the software that he's created with the game Grammar's Wars was a very unique proposition. And with that, we've came up with the Michigan Virtual 2021 Summers Games. And I will go ahead and pass it on to Johan.
Hello, I'm Johan de Bruin. I'm a software engineer. I have over 10 years of experience in the gaming industry, 6 of them at Riot Games. And I am the creator of Grammar Wars, which we will be talking about in this presentation.
So just as a quick overview, we've kind of introduced ourselves already. The game that we're going to be using for the summer games is grammar based. So we will be asking students to practice continuing learning grammar throughout the summer. The reason that we are using Grammar's Wars is because it has a great range to it. All of the content is standard aligned and it is for a wide variety of difficulty, meaning that kids from multiple grades are going to be able to compete and play this game. It also is very hands-off. People can go ahead and sign into this game through a Chromebook and through any mobile platform that accepts iOS or Android. So it's going to assume little time spent on the teacher. And let's face it, this past year has been very difficult for teachers and students alike. So being able to offer something that allows you to learn and continue in practice at your own pace is important to us because each student and each teacher is in a very different situation based off this past year. We want something to adapt to that. So this is what the Summer Games is for. Johan, do you want to speak about your company?
Yeah, so basically, I'm a big passionate about educational games, and I understood that, the gap between real games that the students are engaging every day these days and actual educational games is huge. Basically, educational games haven't evolved since the 1990s. So I created Erudis Games 2 years ago, which we have as a mission to elevate educational games to the standards of these days. And we do that through offering like a competitive and engaging gameplay system, which is actually online and other people can play together.
And one of the reasons I was drawn to Erudis Games is the fact that there's competition put into the game that's not necessary. So any of the times that kids are playing games or learning, there's going to be different people in different situations with different skills and talents. And the game like this is adaptive to that, meaning that it's all inclusive and many students will get to play for a variety of reasons. So this is the game Grammar's Wars. Johan, do you want to talk about the game?
Yeah, so it's basically a trivia game, but we have a couple of new innovations. One of them is the fact that we feature a rating system that calculates the proficiency of the students for each one of the learning objectives. So for example, if the player has demonstrated that he or she understood nouns in the past, next time we ask that specific question, it will be a little bit more challenging. We also have like an engaging Pokemon-like feature where the player collects these monsters that he or she will use in their team. And they will level up and evolve as the player play games. So there is like this progression, engaging outlet to, why I'm clearing these levels, why I'm, playing this game.
And you can see through this the variety of reasons a student could be engaged with this game. Some students are going to want to just train their monsters. Some of them will just want to answer questions as well as they can. Some of them will want to compete against other students. This covers a lot of variety.
Correct.
So with that, we have the summer games. And this is open to any student 7th to 12th grade. And I should mention it's because of that change of difficulty that we're able to reach out to students from all those different grades, meaning that different places in the game will have different difficulties of questions to answer. And it also will adapt to how students are performing in the game. So that 12th graders that are performing very well early on will start to find more difficult questions and so on and so forth. We should mention that we're not going to turn down any students that choose to participate. So if a 5th grader does ask to do this, they're absolutely more than welcome to participate. We have the 7th through 12th grade as the students that we're targeting for this. So in this, we're going to have a league system, as you can see in this picture here. So in this proof of concept picture, we have a school and 2 different clubs in here represented. This is going to be a unique feature only for this instance of the game. So if you were to download Grammar's Wars on your own, you would not see any of the club features. That is what's unique to the summer games, is that students who sign up not only are going to be able to represent themselves in the game, but they're also going to be able to represent their school in a unique way. And schools will also have that virtual representation inside the game as well. As I mentioned before, all of the content in the game is standards aligned with the Common Core state standards. So your kids are having questions that are based on educators' content. And every game mode rewards player with club points. There's going to be multiple ways to earn points. So you can see the daily challenge is something that changes and adapts every single day. And there's different campaigns for students to work through at different levels, where they'll either be able to explore the monsters option or just answer as many questions as possible. As they go through this, they'll be able to earn points the entire time for the representative clubs.
I should also add that there is a learning mode that where if the students is not familiar with some of the learning objectives, they can actually learn just in time about that concept and do like a practice quiz where they will receive like a learning score. So it's also like the player have many options on how to engage with the game.
Awesome. So like if they were going through the campaign and they started struggling at a specific point, they could find in the learning area how to practice that so that they can continue the campaign.
Yep, correct.
That's awesome. Is there anything that you want to add to this slide before we move on?
That will be it.
Okay. So this is something that is very important to both Johan and Michigan Virtual, is that making sure that student data is protected. As we explore gamified learning, there are a lot of pros to what we are working with. The fact that they can increase engagement levels, that gamified learning can help project-based learning increase in the amount that students use it, so on and so forth. When you get into games like this, one of the most important things to do is make sure that all data is protected, which is why you can see that the access through the promo code that students who participate in the summer games, that code is going to automatically upgrade their account to a premium account. It will also turn off any purchases in the game. So let's say that you're a parent and your kid's using your mobile device to play this game. They're not going to accidentally be able to buy anything off of the app or anything like that. All of that is turned off. There is only in-game purchases with the in-game currency, which is gems. There is no financial amount held to that. So there will be no instance where we are getting any information from the individual user outside of their user data, meaning how many times have they logged in and how they're doing. We do not know the names or the email. We will be using the email to register for the game, but that will not be recorded in any of our research data. The only unique thing to each account is the nickname that a student uses inside their account. And they can choose that nickname to be anything they like. Some students like to have the nickname be their name in the game so that everyone can see where they're at and so on and so forth. But in no ways is that a requirement. A student could choose any nickname. They could call it SpongeBob SquarePants for all I care. What's important is that we'll be able to look at how the majority of students are playing the game and get that feedback to develop the game to be more helpful for students and teachers going forward after the summer games.
Correct. And I should add that we designed Grammar's words to be anonymous by default. I understand that some students might feel pressure to display their profile in the game or their stats in the game. So everything is anonymous by default, and they can choose to display a nickname if they want. So
it's cool to give them that choice. So how do schools participate? And we've designed this to make this as easily as possible. Any school that wants to be represented in the game and have their students have access to this, we will give an informed consent form for them to sign, just stating the things that we stated about student data before. Once they've signed that, we're going to give that school a special code that they and we can send to their students, meaning that the promo code will be unique to that school instance. And anytime a student signs up, the only thing they have to do outside of their chosen username and password is use that promo code, and it will automatically give them all of the unlimited access, turn off all account purchases, protect their data, and represent them with their school so that they're representing their school through the summer. When they do that, every time they play through the game, not only will they be earning points for themselves in learning, they'll also be earning points for their school. Johan, is there anything you want to add to this?
Nope.
And this is some more details on what the registration will look like. Again, it's going to be an email. We do not record or take that email account. We are not looking to send anything to that email or ask for more data. They will choose their email password, and then they will give the promo code that we've given them into the game, and it'll automatically upgrade their account.
Yes.
After that, the only thing that's different is that we will ask students' grade level, and it'll be 1st through 12th or more than 12. And we just want to document that to see where the majority of players are coming from, what grade they are. Go ahead and move on here. So yeah, more about the game. Johan, I don't know if you want to add anything to this. We've kind of covered this, but as they play through, this is what the victory screen looks like. Go ahead, Johan.
So basically, yes, as I mentioned before, the post game after each one of the levels, the player will get some experience points and some, currency to purchase other monsters. But they also will earn points to the club that they're representing, and that's what we're showing in this screen.
Awesome. And again, this is something only that will be seen when students are registering with the promo code that we give them. It's not that they can't play the game outside of this, it's that this unique instance of the game is for all students participating in the Michigan Virtual Summer Games. And this is what the club will look like, which is my favorite part. So when a school chooses to participate, they will have their own club represented in the game. And every 10 minutes, as we have it right now, it'll update the club's points to reflect where your club is compared to others. So for example, right now in our pilot that we have practicing right now, we have a team red and team blue, which will sound familiar to some other gamers out there. And every 10 minutes, coworkers, teachers, and students can see where they are and where they place. And Johan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that when you hit the play button, it'll show who's first, second, and third as students overall.
Correct. We have the home widget where we actually feature different things like who's the best in the week, who's the best in the day, or who are the best clubs overall.
And I think it's important to add that when it shows the latest activity for your team, again, it's showing the nickname. It's not showing anybody's email or information. So whatever students chooses that nickname is how they'll be represented in the club. So if you wanted to name yourself some nickname, that would quite literally be all right. And that's how you'll be represented in the game. No harm in that. And also, I will say that it's been pretty fun to watch coworkers try to compete against me as they all pick the other team and are looking to beat me in this pilot. So I'm hoping that's a good example of how students can kind of choose what to incentivize in the game, whether they just want to beat their friends, whether they want to represent their school as best as possible, whether every once in a while they just want to learn and be on their phones. We know that we're going to be on phones already, so we might as well have an opportunity to practice our grammar as well. More about students representing their school. This was covered when we were talking on the last slide, but you can see that there's going to be progress reports, and that's the only thing that we're recording. Is we will be able to see daily, how many logins and how much how do I word this? much the game is being used by individual accounts, and what their progress is throughout the league. So the students can only see who they are representing, but we'll be able to see what clubs are doing what. Meaning, if there is a club that does well in a specific place of grammar, let's say verbs, and the other place is doing better in pronouns, we'll be able to see that and document that for future use to see, where we need to best develop the game so that students can best learn at the proper pace.
Correct.
Johan, do you want to add anything to that?
This is a great opportunity to try to understand, the game features over 100 learning objectives, and be able to understand, okay, students are struggling in irregular adverbs maybe, and maybe we can improve that, not only in the game, but also us as educators, try to understand better where students are struggling. And yes.
I think it'll be great feedback for teachers to know where we're struggling and where we're succeeding in at a very non-intrusive level, where you usually have to have kids take tests to know that. They can just play the game and we'll be able to see results. On top of that, there are daily challenges without the game that change every single day. And one thing that we talked about exploring is changing those daily challenges to reflect what kids are struggling with, so that in the game, we're incentivizing more club points by having kids practice what they're struggling with the most, which is a cool way to get kids to actually engage with things that they struggle with, which is hard to do, and to, keep kids at a higher education point.
Oh yeah, and also I should add that we give points for activity as well. Like we give these gems if they play every day. So if they log in every day and they play a little bit, we actually give them rewards to engage students to keep playing and keep practicing their grammar a little bit every day, which is what educational psychology teaches us about how we learn the best, is a little bit every day.
Absolutely. Yeah. We like to get little things every day. And we also have some awards for the end of the year. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the English score a little bit, Johan?
Yeah, so basically these are entitlements that we will give to the students and the clubs at the end of the program. And basically every student who reaches a 2,000 points English score will receive the MVP Commander. This is an entitlement available to any student who engage a node with the game. And then to the top 3 players, we will give them the entitlement of Summer Games 2021 Champion. And finally, the top 3 clubs will give the Summer Games 2021 award.
Awesome. And the English score, I believe, is based on the Glico rating system. Is that correct?
Correct. It's basically an aggregation of the rating for every one of the topics in the game. So basically, mostly as long as you have engaged with the game and you have demonstrated a certain proficiency with each one of the learning concepts, you will get those 2,000 points.
It's pretty cool. And you also see specific scores for specific parts of grammar knowledge as well. So your score can overall be over 2,000, but you can still see your individual score for future pretenses, past pretenses, all of those examples. And just some keynotes that we've covered is that any student that chooses to participate and adds the promo code will get this premium account, which has transactions turned off, and will have unlimited access to the game. They're going to get that for free indefinitely, so that nothing will change for them other than the updates to the actual club system. Certificates and trophies are going to be going to the top performing in districts and schools. So not only can you sign up to have your students play, but you also will be represented for students' performance. The weekly gems that Johan was talking about can be used to purchase monsters that help overall improve your points, and that you can help evolve and grow, similar to Pokemon and how they evolve and grow. And we will have a landing page on the Michigan Virtual website if you are a school that is interested in participating for more information. And you can also check the game out at grammarswars.com. Johan, what else would you like to add?
I mean, nothing much. I highly recommend you to check the game. There are a lot more features that we haven't time to cover, but in the landing page we have a trailer, and you can actually download the game and start testing it now if you are undecided about joining the program.
Well, I'm very excited to see the Michigan Virtual 2021 Summer Games take off. I will say that it's very unique to have a software developer in the state of Michigan so that we can partner with a Michigan-based company to give something to all students, not just in the state of Michigan, but to students anywhere that choose to participate. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the results are and seeing clubs compete against each other. And thank you. I hope to see you in the game soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bennett, thank you. And Johan, thank you very much for bringing this to us. I think it's really exciting that we are looking at this innovation. I think it's really cool that we're able to partner with your company, Johan, to look at not just how kids can learn, but how they do it in a way that's enjoyable to them and that incentivizes them in kind of their native language. I know my 13-year-old son, I am constantly trying to pull him off of his Xbox. So if we can reward that kind of gaming native and reinforce learning at the same time, I think it's awesome. So thank you so much for your partnership. And for the schools out there who are interested, I want to mention that this is completely free. It's something that you can just do as a value add for your students. Send it out to all of your parents as a great way to keep their kids engaged over the summer. So thank you so much. And we'll hope to see you again soon.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.